Rated M for mature.
TCNY City Guide welcomes you to the Big Apple, the most exciting place on the planet. Fine dining, famous landmarks, getting around. New York, the city that never sleeps. In tonight's episode, we explore the nightlife. The hustle and bustle of this great city doesn't stop just because the sun goes down.
Hi, what can I do you for?
Give me all your money.
New York police!
Remember to bring a sweater so you don't catch a chill.
Jak and Daxter really kind of came out of a culmination of a series of brainstormings with a number of people trying to think about how we were going to make an action hero who was a little more accessible and in a world that was much bigger than you'd seen before.
We wanted to focus on the speed, action, and insane intensity that you get from an arcade racer. We wanted to include the customization and personalization you get with a racing sim. We wanted to have the over-the-top carnage and wreckage that you get from a vehicular combat game, and then we wanted to tie that all up in the Jak and Daxter universe. That's Jak X.
We've got an amazing team of animators who come from all over, both from the video games industry and from the feature film industry. They just do a mind-blowing job in bringing the characters to life.
We hired a student right out of Pasadena Art Center for vehicle design. He was actually major in transport design. He had a choice of going to Detroit and designing real vehicles or coming to Naughty Dog and actually working on Jak X Combat Racing. Fortunately for us, he chose Naughty Dog and has just kicked out dozens of incredible vehicle designs.
What makes Jak X so great is the variations of the tracks and the terrain. We have such incredibly interesting designs. Yasuhara did a lot of the track designs.
So some of the locations in the game will be familiar to players of the other Jak games, but the other whole half of the game is in all new locations.
Welcome, race fans, to another turbocharged season of high-stakes, high-speed racing. As the best racers of the world swap paint in their quest to claim the Crash City Grand Championship Trophy.
For Jak X, we brought everybody back. Everybody that's ever been in the universe that it seems to be characters that people wanted to see again. Susan Eisenberg is back as Ashlyn.
What the hell did you do to us?
And of course, Mark Irwin came back as Jak.
We can do this. We can race. And we can beat Crew at his own game.
And Max Casella, who's the voice of Daxter.
Jak, next time you invite me to one of your little parties, don't!
He's my secret weapon, really. There's an old adage that says, you know, that if you have a scene that's sagging, have somebody run in with a gun. Well, in my case, whenever a scene's really bad, have Daxter get in and say something, because he always adds so much life to the scene.
To me, as a game designer, audio is a really incredibly important thing. This game, we've worked with a couple of really awesome artists to create the soundtrack for the game.
We have Queens of the Stone Age for the intro. It's really an amazing intro.
Most of the game's soundtrack has been made by Mr. Billy Howardell. His fans, of course, will know him from his work with A Perfect Circle. And he's crafted a whole variety of amazing tracks for us.
We allow 6 players to race against each other at the same time. You can wear a headset so that you can have an open channel and talk to all those people out there. We have a lobby which is fully featured with clans and buddies. So, we're really trying to make it a very rich online experience.
But in addition to that, you have customization of every race. So everything from the wind parameters to the weapons used in the race, the number of track laps, the number of the time limits, the amount of collectibles. These things are all adjustable online with you and your friends.
We've gone to great pains to give online players all the tools that we know that they need and love to be able to make their online community experience really great. We've created buddy lists so that you can browse lists of players that you've played against recently and add them to a list of friends. And then when you come online, you can very quickly and easily see which of your buddies are online. We also have clans, which of course a bit like clubs or racing teams that the players can form and invite each other to join.
And you've got so many choices, not only in weapons, but in track types and in different types of opponents that you're playing.
But this game is actually more about the fast action, intense speed that you would imagine from an arcade race or a racing sim.
I'm really pleased with the reception we've got because people have been saying that while they've seen this style of play in one game before, that style of play in another game, they've never really seen it all together in one game like this.
When the going gets tough, Jack will get us out of it.
We're just gonna have to win the whole thing.
Warriors, come out to play.
Only this time, don't forget your PlayStation 2. The mad geniuses at Rockstar have transformed the cult classic film The Warriors into yet another genre-defining game.
We love The Warriors. I mean, it's one of our favorite films, and we're also huge fans of the brawler genre. So we've decided to take the fighting genre and put it into a living New York City.
The film, which came out in 1979, based on a novel by Saul Urich and directed by Walter Hill, has a storyline tailor-made for a beat-em-up game.
The Warriors is a film about a gang from Coney Island who go to a gang meeting in the Bronx. And at this gang meeting, Cyrus, the leader of the Riffs, is assassinated, and the Warriors are blamed for the killing. The Warriors have to get back to Coney Island while the cops are after them and other gangs. We've taken that movie and turned it into a complete interactive experience.
To make that experience as full and realistic as possible, Rockstar went the extra mile to get New York City circa '79 just right.
For the Warriors movies, one of the main characters was the environment. New York at night is a beast. Late 70s New York was a much different place than it is now. It was a lot darker, a lot grittier, a lot more dangerous at night. So we did a lot of research for the environments, but also the street furniture, the garbage, the dilapidated buildings, and I think we represent that sense very well in our game.
During the course of the game, you'll spend a lot of time on the Warriors' home turf, Coney Island.
During our research, we did a lot of work with the residents of Coney Island, actually, to make sure that we were as accurate as we could be to represent Coney Island from 1979. So, for instance, we worked with the unofficial mayor of Coney Island, Dick Zigan, who runs the Coney Island Museum.
New York City was a very different place then from what it is now. You know, the movie reflects an artistic view of a reality that was happening in 1979. But, you know, since that time, a lot has changed. So, for instance, this is the only building in Coney Island that's trashed out, windows broken, covered with graffiti. In 1979, half the neighborhood looked like this. New York City went bankrupt in the mid-70s. The subways were covered by graffiti. New York was a crazy place to be in.
This crazy city is fleshed out in much broader scope. The game makers have included most of the movie scenes and setups while adding tons of new content.
So everything that you see in the movie, you're going to get to play in our game. Plus, we've added more to our title because the movie's only 90 minutes long, and our game's going to offer 20+ hours of gameplay. So we aren't just living one night with the Warriors like you do in the film. This takes place over a whole summer, leading up to the events of the film. Another thing we do is we have flashback missions, which get unlocked as you play the game. And the flashback missions actually tell you the story of how the Warriors are formed.
Stories are nice, but let's not forget that there's a game to play and some major brawling to be done. And so many ways to do it.
Since, there is a strong narrative to the Warriors, we do have a storyline that you do follow. But once you go into a mission, you can play the mission any way you want. At the heart of this game, it's a brawler. It's a fighting game. We wanted to make it very easy, very accessible to people, but also deep enough to have fighting fans feel like this is a full-fledged fighting game. Another thing we think is really cool about the game is the rage mode. The more style points you get, the more combos you throw, the faster your rage bar fills. Once your rage bar is filled and you activate rage mode, you become invincible and you actually get a whole new set of combat moves, which allow you to clear more space or do instant kills. The other thing that's unique is that it's not just you running down the street by yourself. You are running with a gang, so you have gang commands. You actually can tell your warriors to do things for you, whether it's go beat up this guy or, hey, let's go steal stuff in this store.
In combining the cult film classic with intense interactive gameplay, The Warriors promises something for everyone.
We have taken the brawler genre and really evolved it to the next level. I think we're delivering something that is completely fresh. We aren't making just another left-to-right beat-em-up game. It's like we are making the world of the Warriors, and that was just really cool to be a part of.
Can you dig it?